I am officially down 15 pounds from my starting weight. I started seeing the pounds just flying off. What I had to go through, what I needed to realize in order to progress going to tour a new apartment complex. So I was like, all right, let's go do it. Let's go do it. And here we are. That's not investing in myself. That's not investing in my future. Okay. I did not mean to make anybody uncomfortable. Sometimes when I'm watching a really intense movie, I will like physically tense up. I wanted to give y'all an update on both of them. Welcome back to another vlog. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy you are. As y'all saw, we just got out of Target. We just did a little Target run. Only like 4 bags worth of stuff, and I have them all sitting in my passenger seat next to me. I do have to run them home, but before I do, I thought I would run through all of the items I got and just give y'all a little bit of healthy grocery inspo. I've made it very obvious on my channel. I've been talking about it a lot that I am going through a health journey right now. I am really trying to better my eating and my eating habits, and above all, just take better care of my body. I'm going to talk more on that a little bit later, but for now, let's get into these groceries and head home so we can unpack them all. I did need to pick up 2 non-grocery items, so I thought I would just show y'all those really quick. I picked up some more deodorant. I always get this double pack of the Secret Outlast Sweat and Odor in the scent Completely Clean. She never fails me. And this right here was not a purchase I was prepared for. Okay, if y'all have been around on this channel, you would know the issue that my office has with spiders. I don't know what the problem is, but it literally deters me from going into the office. I went into the office after I got back from my vacation, and there were 5 spiders in sight. That's just what I could see. Okay, 5 spiders in my office. And I have tried so hard to play nice. Okay, I literally went to my office's break room and grabbed a little plastic cup and then grabbed a sheet of thicker paper. And I've been trapping them and setting them free. Okay, but that just, like, I can't keep doing that. It won't work for my mental. It just won't. But I don't feel right squishing them and killing them just because they happen to enter my office. Enter Ortho Home Defense. This is what my dad uses and recommends for this type of thing, so I just trusted him and I picked it up. It is just an insect killer. You're supposed to be able to spray it around the perimeter of the room that's being affected, and then it should deter them. This says it kills the toughest home invading insects, and that spider is a little scarier looking than the ones that are coming in my office. So if it can get that, it can get the ones I'm dealing with. And this says it does up to 12-month protection, so I can live with that. If I just kind of use this as a maintenance item and just keep this in my office, I swear I almost considered asking my boss to just like run this on the company card and make this a company expense. But I was like, that's so extra. I'm not going to do that. That is just embarrassing, because chances are they're getting spiders in their offices too, and they're just not complaining about it. But I just can't be having that. Okay. Like, I hope you understand. It's just distracting to have them around, and they're like the ones that jump, and I don't want them jumping all over my head and just like having a heyday in my office. I'm sorry. If they could go literally anywhere else except for my office, there would be no problems. Okay, now that we just had a little spider rant, sorry for that. That was unwarranted. Let's get into these groceries. I had to get some more Olipops. I haven't purchased these in a while because I bought a big pack from Costco of Poppy, but these flavors I just miss. You know, these are the best. They're just so expensive to buy individually. Cherry Cola, Vintage Cola, my faves. I got 2 of each. There's been some controversy surrounding prebiotic sodas lately and their benefits for gut health, but just a PSA, I don't drink them for gut health at all. I drink them because they are better for you than soda. They have more natural ingredients. Anyway though, I got 2 pickups that Hunter requested. Every time I go to the store, I always ask Hunter, my boyfriend, if he needs anything, and these were his the only 2 things he requested. Some caramel rice cakes because he's also on a health journey, and then on the contrary, because you gotta have balance, he wanted some brownies, because if we ever want to splurge and have a dessert, it's gonna be brownies and vanilla ice cream with a little bit of salted caramel drizzle. That's like our thing. So we like to just have a box in the house. We don't have these often, but when we use a box, we buy a box. Oh, he did also request these. He wanted some yellow corn tortillas. I think he's been seeing TikToks about yellow corn tortillas specifically, because we usually just buy like white tortillas. I know these are what traditional like a la carte taco places use, so I'm kind of excited. I re-upped on these little avocado cups by Good Food. These are my favorite. I've tried a few different brands of like guac cups or avocado cups because I cannot hang with the avocados. I'm so sorry. They are too high maintenance for me. Like when I want avocado, I want it right then and there. I don't want to have to worry about if it's ripe or not. Call me lazy, but lazy girl hack. These are really good because I feel like when you buy cups like this, typically they have a bunch of other weird flavors thrown in, but the ingredients on these are literally just avocados, lemon juice, salt, and pepper. So I love them and they're just always ready to eat. I got a few ingredients for a little Mediterranean style salad I really want to make that I saw on the internet. I needed some chickpeas, some Dijon mustard for the dressing, some little baby tomatoes, and some feta cheese. And I also needed cucumbers and red onion, but they didn't have either. Like the Target I went to today was just not stocked up on their veggies. So I'll have to run and get that another time, I guess. Tonight for dinner, I'm making a little broccoli cheddar bake. So I got a few things that I did not have for that. Shredded cheese blend, frozen broccoli cuts, 2% milk, as well as a tub of cream cheese. A yellow onion, which I think also goes in that bake. But I figured if there's any leftover, I can take it and use it in a pico for the tacos that we'll make with those tortillas I bought. Just some red grapes to have some fruit in the house. Lately, we've been always having some sort of fruit, whether it be apples, bananas, berries. They're just nice to have as a little snack. Last bag, hopefully I'm not forgetting anything. All frozen stuff. I got some of this teriyaki salmon, which I love this. This teriyaki salmon, it comes with 2 fillets per box. Hunter and I used to eat these all the time, but they were on sale today, so I thought I would revisit them. Really good and really easy. Just throw it in the air fryer, so there's no excuse not to have a nice balanced meal. And the teriyaki coating on this, amazing. And then last, and probably the least healthy, I grabbed some frozen chicken strips and some fries. Number one, because it just sounded good in the moment, to be honest with you. And number two, because I'd rather be eating this than going somewhere and getting fast food. You know, that's how we justify these things. It's all in the balance. That is everything I picked up in today's Target haul. So I'm gonna run home, run that up to my apartment, get all of that unpacked and situated, and then we'll have to cook some dinner. We're gonna be making that broccoli cheddar bake that I mentioned. Hopefully it's good. We've never tried it before, but y'all will be along to cook it with me. So let's go. Good morning, y'all. I just got to work. I did a quick little 5-minute bagel run on my way because I had to buy that entire tub of cream cheese for that broccoli cheddar bake I made last night for dinner, which by the way was pretty good. It wasn't like holy grail status or anything. I feel like I almost needed like a meat with it, maybe add chicken to it or something. But I did like that it was kind of like a different way to eat white rice because typically we'll just make it straight up and serve it that way. So that's kind of nice to have on hand in case we want to switch it up a bit and add a little bit more substance and flavor. But anyways, that cream cheese was the smallest size I could find, but we still have a lot left because I only took out like 1.5 tablespoons. So I just figured this place is right on the way to my work. Hunter and I don't get bagels often anymore, and I've been craving an Asiago bagel for a while now. So I got their half dozen without the cream cheese because they have it where it can bundle to include the cream cheese. So for the half dozen, I picked 4 Asiago and 2 everything. The Asiago are my fave, so I just stocked up on those. Hunter likes the everything though, but he will also eat the Asiago. So I figured he could have 2 of the everythings and 1 of the Asiagos, and then I could have all 3 of the remaining half. I also justified it by saying I needed something for lunch today, so I brought the tub of cream cheese in my lunchbox with an ice pack, and I'll probably be eating one of those bagels for lunch today. So I'm looking forward to that, especially on a busy day today. I came in primarily for 2 meetings, one just being a check-in and one being kind of a sit-down session with a few of my colleagues to look over our website and make a few updates. So that's today. And then later tonight, Hunter and I actually have a little movie date planned. I'm so excited. He booked the tickets for Bad Boys Ride or Die. I'll be taking y'all along, and I will be sure to update you on how we like the movie. I'm not sure what to expect, but I love the first 3. They're very much action movies, like crime action with humor added in, and Will Smith and Martin Lawrence always going to do it for me every single time. So I'm really excited. I promised y'all I was going to sit down and chat with y'all about my health journey and update you on the weight loss, on how everything is going. So let's just get straight into it. I have been tracking my progress with a scale. I know a lot of people like to demonize the scale, but me personally, I absolutely love it. It keeps me accountable and it keeps me motivated. I'm not emotionally affected by the scale. For me, I just see it as a tool that allows me to see exactly where my body is at. I do not so well when it comes to other indicators of weight loss. I feel like seeing the physical changes takes a lot more time, and honestly, our minds half the time trick us into thinking we're not making as much progress as we think we are. So the number on the scale for me has been a huge indicator of if what I'm doing is working. And it's because I've been weighing myself using a scale that I'm able to say that I am officially down 15 pounds from my starting weight. More specifically, let's break it down a little bit because it's been quite the journey. So for me personally, I would probably break up my weight loss or my health journey into 2 different time periods, into 2 different categories. The first one being from the end of 2022 to February of this year. In that time span, I only lost 5 pounds, and I mark February of this year as the cutoff point because that is when things started to change in my mindset, and that has allowed me to drop an additional 10 pounds on top of that from February to today. So that is the numerical update. But what I really want to get into with y'all right now is what changed between those 2 periods to allow me to make such significant progress. Because to only drop 5 pounds in over a year, but then drop 10 additionally on top of that in 3.5-ish months, you know, something had to happen there. Now, if y'all know me and y'all know this channel, you know exactly who I'm about to talk about. I will give you a hint. We're gonna do a quick little pre-workday Bible study together, and I'm gonna use the scripture to tell you exactly how I overcame this issue with my health. Let me know how y'all feel about this little car Bible study. I feel like I normally do it on my couch in my living room, very cozy vibes, but this just made sense for today. So we're going to be looking at 1 Kings, specifically kind of mid chapter 3 of 1 Kings. I really hope my camera doesn't overheat because it is a hot one today. Really quickly, before I get into the actual scripture, I want to give you some context. Most recent update in this book is that Solomon, who is David's son, has taken over David's rule of Israel. So shortly after Solomon is made king, the Lord appears to Solomon in a dream by night, and God says, "Ask and I shall give you." This is the request that Solomon responds with, according to the scripture. "Give your servant, therefore, an understanding mind to govern your people, that I may discern between good and evil." We're going to take a little AC break, and then we're going to unpack. Solomon could have asked for all of the wealth, all of the riches, all of the victories, all of the power over his enemies, all of the land, all of the women, all of the livestock, all of the slaves, all of the harvest, all of the prosperity, all of these tangible blessings and outcomes and results. But instead, what does he ask for? He asks for understanding and discernment and guidance from the Lord. Instead of asking for things that glorify himself and glorify the world, Solomon asks for things that glorify the Lord. And scripture says, it pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this. And God said to him, because you have asked this, and have not asked for yourself long life or riches, or the life of your enemies, but have asked for yourself understanding to discern what is right. Behold, I now do according to your word. Behold, I give you a wise and discerning mind, so that none like you has been before you, and none like you shall arise after you. I give you also what you have not asked, both riches and honor, so that no other king shall compare with you all your days. So in summary, because Solomon sought a relationship and partnership with the Lord, as opposed to results and outcomes and tangible blessings, he received all that he asked for and more. And this has been very much true of my own situation as well. All of 2023, from the end of 2022 to February of this year, I had been striving to reach this goal all by myself, independently, following my own ways, following the world's ways, basically turning a blind eye to the Lord, who would have gladly helped me and done so much better than I would have done for myself. And to answer the question of what changed from the first period of my health journey to the second period, it's the shift from counting on myself and counting on the world to help me to counting on the Lord and forming a partnership with the Lord to accomplish these goals. And I kid you not, as soon as I gave my health up to the Lord, as soon as I started confiding in Him, as soon as I started following Him and viewing my health in a way that glorifies Him, I started seeing the progress, the pounds just flying off. And my partnership with Him didn't mean, praying constantly for results, praying for the outcome I was wanting. My partnership with the Lord meant praying for guidance from Him and wisdom from Him to teach me how to eat, to teach me how to live, to teach me how to move, to teach me how to treat my body, and to live in a way that glorifies Him. Stop praying for results, stop praying for an outcome, and instead pray for a partnership with the Lord as you move through the process. Start viewing the victory that you're seeking as an opportunity to glorify the Lord and embrace Him in the waiting. The waiting period is truly where the beauty is. I know we are a world and a people so driven by results, but it's not about what you're waiting for. It's about who you're becoming in the waiting. God isn't outcome focused. He's not results driven. He's focused on transforming your heart and your mind and your spirit to align with who He created you to be. And I truly, truly believe He is doing that with this health journey. My weight gain obviously did not feel like a blessing. It felt like a curse. But I'm now realizing that the Lord is using this weight gain and this health journey to set me free from something I've worshiped over Him and made an idol for years. And that is my body image and food and all the toxic thoughts surrounding health that the world is feeding us. All right, y'all. Apologies for the camera angle change and just all the adjustment going on. My camera quite literally overheated. Clearly, the summertime is not for vlogging in the car. I was just gonna say before my camera literally shut off, it's crazy because God's expectation and His plan for us far exceeds our own. Solomon wanted just a little bit of understanding, a little bit of help leading this kingdom of people, but God gave him wisdom and understanding that far surpassed any other person's within Egypt. I wanted to drop like 5 to 10 pounds from my starting weight. Now I am down that and more and counting. So I guess the moral of the story here is when you work in partnership with the Lord, He will multiply the victory, the blessing, the outcome that you're seeking tenfold. When you do it His way, under His terms, there is nothing you will not be able to do. Nobody will be able to tell you nothing. This was more chaotic than I would have liked it to be because of the heat going on, but I really wanted to share that little bit of Solomon's story in 1 Kings because it's very demonstrative of what I had to go through, what I needed to realize in order to progress in my health journey the way that I have. Number one, I needed a partnership with God. I needed to stop ignoring His power and what He could do in my situation. I needed to just throw away the world. I needed to throw away whatever mentality I had developed over the years. I just needed to scrap all of that and let God start over with me and transform my mind. And I needed to make the partnership about Him and not about me. Once I started viewing my health as it relates to glorifying him, once it started getting so much deeper for me, once I started to see that biblical correlation, once he opened my eyes to seeing, you know, how health truly does relate to him and how he truly can help, it was over for the enemy. All right. He lost right then and there. And things have just been amazing ever since. So learn from me, learn from Solomon, whatever you're going through, whatever victory it is that you're seeking, that you're trying to reach, partner with the Lord and glorify him in your partnership. I will elaborate more in a future video, but for right now, that's my update. Hopefully it was thorough. Hopefully it was clear. Hopefully it made sense. Hopefully it wasn't too chaotic. Anyways, let's head up to my office, get this workday in before my camera overheats again. Talk to y'all in a little bit. Listen, girls, I know I go to Dunkin' entirely too often. I don't know what to tell you, okay? I don't know what to tell you. Today, I swear to you, it was just in the cards. I was thinking about going this morning, but then I was like, you know, I can just make an iced coffee at home and that way I can show you guys what I use. And we can just have a nice little casual chat in my apartment's kitchen. However, the weather has been so gloomy and gross and the lighting in my apartment was just pissing me off. It was just like poor lighting makes for poor quality on my camera. So it was just not working out. And I know you probably know the interior of my car like the back of your hand by now, especially given that this video has been very heavy on the car vlogging. Not a whole lot of change in scenery, but the lighting always hits in the car. The lighting will always hit regardless of the weather. So for a literal half hour this morning, I was contemplating whether I wanted to get my butt out of the house and get in my car so I could get better quality footage to end off this vlog. And then I saw in my Dunkin' app that today only Dunkin' is donating $1 of every purchase to local children's hospitals in your area. So I was like, okay, that sold me. And I was already wanting a coffee at that point. So I was like, all right, let's go do it. Let's go do it. And here we are. But yeah, hope y'all don't mind the constant car chats in this video, but we will work with it. At least I'm not looking pixelated like I was in my apartment. Speaking of my apartment, random exciting updates. Today, after the workday, Hunter and I are going to tour a new apartment complex. We're very happy with where we're currently living. The community is great. The amenities are great. The unit that we're in is literally amazing, but the rent is a bit steep and it continues to rise every year to keep up with the market. For our apartment, every August, we will get a note from the leasing office describing what the rate for the next contract would be, the next lease would be. And every single year it's gone up at least $100 a month. So we're really looking to save some money without compromising safety and quality. And for us, I think that's going to be moving areas completely. So moving out of the big city I'm in and into a suburb instead, which is going to add a little bit of commute time for both Hunter and I, but not a big deal at all. It would also mean downsizing from a 2-bed, 2-bath to a 1-bed, 1-bath plus den, maybe not plus den. We're not really sure yet. We're just touring to kind of get a good idea and get on this apartment complex's management's radar, just so we're able to secure a unit if that's what we choose to do. Our lease doesn't end till October, but like I said, we get that kind of offer letter for the next lease year in August. So we need to have our minds made up pretty soon. So I'm really, really hoping that this tour goes well. I'm hoping that our tour guide is very helpful in helping us figure out what our options are in potentially helping us secure a unit in the near future. But yeah, that's tonight. And then I think Hunter and I are going to go out for a little dinner date afterwards, just because we'll be out already. It'll be dinner time by the time we're done touring. I will vlog that. It's not going to be in this vlog. It will be in the next weekly vlog, which might not be for another couple weeks yet, but you will see it. You will be brought along. I'm going to try to vlog the actual tour, but I'm going to try to be very discreet so that I'm not weird. Like I don't seem weird to the person giving the tour to the point where it would cost us potentially getting a lease with this place. But yes, I'm really, really excited to hopefully save some money, because I don't have all this money to be dishing out to a landlord. Okay, that's not investing in myself. That's not investing in my future. There are a lot of other places I could put those hundreds of dollars. Okay. Anyway, though, we'll talk more about it as we get into the thick of it. I'm sure I'll be doing like a moving diaries series and bring y'all along for every little bit, because when I moved into this first apartment, I did kind of a small, very minimal, simplistic kind of vlog. It wasn't anything super special. It was just little bits and pieces of our moving process. And this apartment that we're currently in is always going to have a special place in my heart. It's my first adult apartment with Hunter. It's our first like real apartment together that wasn't a college apartment. But if we do end up moving, this new apartment will be where we get engaged, where we get married, not the venue, you know what I mean, where we'll get our first dog, where we may, you know, conceive our first, okay, that's okay, that's, I did not mean to make anybody uncomfortable, where I might carry our first child, where I might be pregnant. Like, that's crazy. So I really want to capture this. I really, really do. Not only for y'all, because I've gotten a lot better with my camera work and with just my effort in general, but also for me to look back on. But yeah, let's move away from that topic for now, because there's a lot to be done yet. There's a lot of decisions to be made. We'll just have to see how that all pans out, and I will make sure to keep you updated along the way. But for now, why don't we talk about the Bad Boys movie? Let's talk about that. I can't vlog the fact that I went to a movie without telling y'all how it was, you know? Quick disclaimer, I am not like a wannabe critic or anything like that. If I go to a movie and I have a generally positive experience and I enjoy it, it's going to be a good movie to me. Like, I'm not going to read into all of the metaphors. I'm not going to read into all the camera work and decisions and all of that stuff. Like, I'm not about that. So for me, as just a general consumer of movies, same with Hunter, we both really enjoyed it. We thought it was great. Something I really liked about this fourth movie is that it had a lot more humor sprinkled in than the previous three did. For me, the humor made it an easier watch. It wasn't so serious all the time. It still kept me on the edge of my seat, and there was still a ton of action, but the humor broke that up a little bit, so I wasn't feeling super tensed up. I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes when I'm watching a really intense movie, I will like physically tense up, and then I'll notice I'm tensed up and be like, what am I tense for? This is literal fiction. But it was really good. I definitely recommend it. If you haven't seen the first three though, you need to watch the first three before you go to Bad Boys Ride or Die, because otherwise you'll be like, what? I don't think you'll be that lost, but there's connections. And the first three are great anyways, so you might as well just have a little movie marathon. While I have you here talking about movies, I brought these two books along because I just finished them, and I wanted to give y'all an update on both of them while they're still super fresh in my mind. I'm not even gonna hold you. I really loved them both. They were both really good for different reasons. As you can see, this one is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and this is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is a series. This is a standalone as far as I know. I don't think there's going to be a sequel or anything. These are both very much in the fantasy genre. This one, I don't even know where to start, honestly. This is like fairies versus humans meets like royal kingdom politics, war meets romance. It's like so complex. It's so many different things and subplots intertwined into one book. This one kind of gives similar, except it's not fairies versus humans. It's humans versus werewolves versus vampires. These are both just so creative. The plot is just so elaborate in each of them. In my opinion, the characters are really complex and interesting. I will say with both of these, they're kind of like a slower burn. This one picks up a little bit sooner than this one. This one truly is like, it's the end where the twist happens and everything starts to pick up a little bit. The only other thing I didn't love was the intimacy and the way that the authors went about it. I don't remember this one being quite as extreme as this one. This one was very graphic. I feel like this one was a little bit dialed back, a little bit, but there was definitely intimacy, and I don't love that. I feel like it's not super necessary. I feel like it can be implied really well without having to go into graphic detail. Like, I don't need that picture painted in the bedroom personally. After reading both of these in full though, I definitely recommend the both of them. This one I remember liking slightly more. I think I would give this one like a 4.5 out of 5. It might be a 5. This is the best book I've read in a while, but I don't read a whole lot. This I would probably give a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed them both a lot, but I enjoyed this one a little more. So there's my book update. Not the most thorough, not the most concise. I'm not great at reviewing books, but I try. Hopefully that gave you a bit of an idea if you're interested. Now that I've given you a very thorough life update, I think we're going to close this vlog out here so I can start the next one, beginning with the apartment touring. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope you all enjoyed. I haven't heard from y'all in a little while, so definitely comment down below. Let me know what's up with you, what's new. Also, like and subscribe if you want to support me. If you want to support this channel, I really, really greatly appreciate it. I hope you're having a great day, a great week, and I cannot wait to catch up with y'all in the next one. I'll see you soon.